Hello, this is Bob the Blob 66. I am doing a tutorial for Empire Total War. It's kind of Empire Total War series for beginners. I will be, in this episode 1, my first video, I'll be just going over all the basic unit types and a quick introduction of what they do and, you know, how they're useful in the best ways. So, thank you. This is the general units. They don't do much in Empire. In Napoleon and Shogun they do quite a lot, but in Empire he just kind of stands there, doesn't do much. Look at him, that moustache. But no, I think sometimes the units that are around him give him a morale boost just because he's there. But other than that, there's nothing much that he does, so I just charge him in whenever possible. Quite good as cavalry unit, as the his bodyguard are quite strong. I'll start off with artillery first. This is the basic unit type for artillery. Just each one pulled by 2 horses. This is a 24 pounder, which is kind of bigger than you'd normally get. Normal is 6 pounder or 12 pounder, which is the normal one, but this is Russia, so they've got higher artillery. But this is the basic field artillery unit. You'll see this in a lot of battles, so you generally bring this along. Over here we have horse-drawn artillery, which is, as you can see, it's drawn by 6 horses each instead of 2, and it's a lot faster. As you see, they're still very slow, but these got here very quickly. They're good for setting up your artillery close, and then when the enemy gets near, you just move them away to a safe position. They can get good first shots for the enemy, but they're generally lower caliber, because these, if you see, they're only 6 pounder, whereas the others were 24 pounder, which 24 pounders are a lot bigger, more deadly. As you can see here, we have general light infantry. This is the most basic of light infantry units. You'll see them on every battlefield if your opponent is good enough. They are meant to get the first shots off at the enemy. They have an improved range and accuracy of general line infantry, so they basically make a screen while your army move up. They will fire, and these are general light infantry, but they, as you can see, they're very vulnerable to cavalry charges and infantry charges as well, and if they're in a fight against a general line infantry unit, then they probably won't stand. These are the second type of light infantry unit. They're riflemen. There's generally fewer of them in a unit than a normal light infantry unit, but they have greater accuracy and range, but their reload is slower. But you normally have a couple of units of these to go with your normal light infantry. This is the normal light infantry, line infantry. These will make the backbone of your army. This is what you'd make up most of your army, as they're the core. So they have a normal range. They are good against cavalry, as they can form square, and they have fire by rank, most of them, which enables all of them to fire one rank after the other. These are elite infantry. You'd have 1 or 2 of these in your army, maybe a bit more even. They have better melee skill and reload skill and accuracy than normal line infantry. They're very good. They have very good morale generally, and they have platoon fire, which is fire that only elite units have. Is when it kind of ripples along the rank, so you have continuous fire going across, and only the elite units like these Simenovsky foot guards have. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right. And another unit you would have in some armies have special units, like in Russia you have hand mortars, which they kind of they got grenade launchers, basically blow up when they get to the enemy. As you can just see now, they do a lot of damage, especially to cav, but they don't have a very long range, so you need to keep them close, and they're vulnerable to melee charges, so you kind of want to keep them away from. Make sure you've got another unit to keep them safe. Here we have light dragoons, which are a cavalry unit. They are able to attack normally by horseback, but also shoot into other units. So they make a good kind of quick attack unit. Bring them in and then take them away quickly. They are not very good at all against other cav units and will generally lose, and the same against infantry units. They're very good for chasing fleeing units, so that's what you would generally use them for. Here are another type of cavalry unit. They're lancers. They're very good against other cav, and they're generally, I think they're light cav, so they can move fast. They're quite good against infantry, but they specialise against other cav, as they have their long lances that just make them better against other cav generally. So yeah. Here we have heavy cavalry. They are good against infantry formations and also against other cav. Just don't mind that regiment of horse going through. They are slower than light cav, and so they're more vulnerable to infantry fire. So if you charge them, you want to make sure that charge counts, because yeah, they have a bigger attack. So you would want to bring 1 or 2 units here to a battle. Over here we have the regiment of horse. It's basically the most basic of horse units, cavalry units. They are not amazing. They're light cav, so you'd use them for chasing down other units. And so yeah. These are dragoons. They're a bit like light dragoons, except they cannot fire on horseback. They have to dismount, as you can see here, to fire. But as they're mounted, they can also attack. So they're pretty good attacking units on horse. But you want a general unit of heavy cav will easily be able to defeat them.